not Irish Shawn. We seven began squeezing into the circular booth GoodWood's host led us to when a voice called out, Wait, don't do that. You all can sit over here. The host shrugged and our server said, looks like he'd fit though. Wasn't sure he'd make it. Come on, he added with a come hither palm and finger wave. This table's bigger. As three generations walked to the larger table that abutted but was not part of our server's wait section. I was the first to slide in on the left side of the table, followed by my grand one, John to my left, and my wife Pat on the far side, her left-handedness a built-in excuse for calling dibs at every seating experience. Meanwhile, daughter-in-law Katie wiggled in around the table on the opposite side and sat next to me, with her husband Kevin next to her, as Sean began to slide in next. You sure you don't want me to slide in, Sean? Lauren asked. No, Sean replied, shaking his head as he continued to squeeze over. I'm fine. Sean, our server declared, for real? I swear I'm getting like 3 Seans per day lately. That's my name too, as he distributed menus and napkin-wrapped flatware around the table. Can I get y'all something to drink? Water, please? Lauren asked as she lifted the drink menu and read it. Water would be great, I chimed in, likewise scanning the drink menu. Let me take a look at this and we'll go on from there. Sounds good, Sean replied. I'll grab water and be right back. Sean returned quickly with 6 pint glasses of ice water and 1 to-go cup with a top containing the same, and, after placing the water on the table, began dropping paper-wrapped straws as well. Whoa, I declared. We're trying to save the planet here. We just need 1 straw, I conclude, softening my rhetoric with a wink and a smile. Sean smiled back and collected the straws before we 6 adults each ordered an adult beverage. I'll be right back with the drinks, he said, turning on his heel and heading towards the bar. Sean, Lauren, Pat, and I had grabbed a snack at GoodWood the day before and had hoped to try a different eatery for our Sunday game day dinner. But by the time we were heading out to dinner, it had grown late, and we decided to walk the 5 blocks from our right across the street from Lucas Oil Stadium Indianapolis Hotel rather than branch out. When we arrived at GoodWood, the football crowd had long departed, and Sean had 50 minutes to go before the doors would be locked and he could head for home. Despite the late hour, Sean having worked a long, hard day surrounded by rowdy drunks and a certain desire to attend his end-of-shift cleaning responsibilities so he could skedaddle, he was an attentive and amicable server. When I asked him how he spelled Sean, he looked at us and declared, "Y'all look very Irish," tilting his head and sun shone in his auburn beard's direction. "My name is spelled phonetically." Sean did not look Irish. Tall, thin, handsome, and African-American? You bet. Irish? Not so much. It is the end of a long, hard shift for Sean. A long, hard, profitable shift, and he sits in the booth opposite ours as we chat a bit about where he's from, South Bend, Indiana, and where else he's lived, Chicago. He's done a great job, and as we end our meal, we ask for some to-go containers, which he says he'll get just as another server walks by and says, "I'll get them." As the other waiter walks back towards the kitchen, Sean hollers after him, "You'll get them. They're my customers," and laughs before asking how many checks we'd like. We tell him 1, and he leaves to prepare the bill. Sean has done a superlative job, and his day has been a long one. He returns with the bill. Pat hands him her credit card, and he goes to cash wrap. While he's gone, our children and their SOs insist on paying the tip, an insistence to which we immediately accede. Sean returns and sees the $50 bill tip sitting on the table and mentions in passing that the other server is his boyfriend, one bit of personal information among many. We thank Sean again, slip on our coats, gather our food, and head for home. Once outside, I asked, "He said the other fellow was his boyfriend, right?" "Yeah," Sean replies. "Does that surprise you? That he has a boyfriend or that he said it?" I asked. When Pat and I moved to Raleigh, the realtor that we had was blatantly racist. Blatant insofar as Indians go and dog whistle racist for African Americans. And she figured that was because your mother and I are old white Americans and we'd be racist too. It was rather fascinating to be included in her grouping. Sean chose to share with us about his boyfriend, which makes me think one of 3 things. Maybe he's been accepted his whole life and thinks nothing of it. Maybe he figured we were good guys because we'd shared life details back and forth. Or maybe he was testing us. Testing us? Sean asked. He saw that $50 bill and maybe wanted to see if it would shrink if he told us that. It didn't, of course. It wouldn't. But now I want to know. It actually grew, Lauren said. "I know," I replied. "I saw you leave some more." "Of course, it could have just been because he was tired and it slipped," Kevin added. "Could be," I replied, "but I hope it was because he felt comfortable." "Guess we'll never know." "Nope," Sean said. "Not unless we come back for another Colts game next year and he's our server." "And we remember to ask," Katie laughed. That too, Kevin said as we headed back to the hotel in the chilly night air.